Good morning. This marks our first Student of the Quarter for the first 9 weeks. Thank you to admin, to staff, to the recognition team, Ms. Keevy, Mr. Ray, Ms. Wilkerson, Ms. Mole, and Ms. Weatherhead for all your support. Thank you to the families and the students for their hard work to academic excellence. And last but not least, a huge thank you to Mr. Beard for his 6 years of dedication of making Student of the Quarter what it is today. And without further ado, we will begin with our first presenter, Mr. Ray.
Yeah. Morning. Our first student of the quarter is Mia Donald. She is recognized by Mrs. Mole. Mia is amazing. She is always positive and has a smile on her face. She consistently knows the work in color guard and helps others. She is one of the hardest working students I've had, and it shows during her performances. Mia is a star on the marching fields. She's such a pleasure to have around and adds so much to our performing arts department. I can't wait to see how far she goes. Mia Donald. Next up is Jacob Harmon. He's recognized by Mr. Probst. Jacob is a student in my AP Statistics class. He is always prepared and does everything he needs to do to be successful. But what really stands out to me are the personal qualities of respect, courtesy, friendliness, and overall attitude. He always shows up ready to work with a smile on his face. Please and thank you are still two very important words in my world, and I hear them often from Jacob. He's a real pleasure to have in class, and he certainly does things the Speedway way. Jacob Harmon. Next up is Emma Allison, recognized by Mr. Lindhorn. Emma has been an outstanding student in AP Language for the first quarter. She is well prepared for class and is a willing participant in class discussions. Most importantly, she has demonstrated an excellent understanding of rhetorical analysis and has written a very effective rhetorical analysis essay. Emma Allison. Molly Bates, recognized by Miss Baker. Molly is an extremely hardworking, inquisitive, and passionate social studies student who is always willing to ask questions and participate in class. She is surely a joy to have in class and always sets the bar high for quality of work and higher level thinking. She has excelled and has been an inspiration to her fellow students in the first quarter. I'm excited to see her grow throughout the rest of the school year. Molly Bates. Dylan Stewart, recognized by Mrs. Murley. Many might not know it, but Dylan is new at Speedway this year. From the outside, his adjustment appears seamless. Dylan participates in class and school activities with no hesitation. I'm happy he's a spark plug and excited about what Dylan brings to the SHS family. Dylan Stewart. Samuel Kamar, recognized by Mr. Wills. Samuel has represented the epitome of a Speedway High School student. He has set a very high bar for his classmates and has set an outstanding example of how to be a successful student. Samuel Kamar. Next up is Cassie Arnell, recognized by Mr. Dorman. Cassie Arnell is my student of the quarter for the start of the 2019-2020 school year. We have expanded our student publication footprint at Speedway this year, and Cassie's leadership has greatly impacted our footprint in a positive way. Her time management skills are greatly appreciated in a deadline-driven class like ours. When she recently took a new job and required her to shuffle her commitments around, she still frequently found time to make sure she was a leading contributor to our photographic initiatives. She helped create a presence in our program on Snapchat, and she has contributed multiple great ideas to the design aspect of our yearbook theme, We've Got a Story to Tell. We have a lot of great students in our publication team, and Cassie shines brightly on our team. Thanks, Cassie. Cassie Arnell. Next up is the girls' golf team, recognized by Mr. Bennett. It was 2 short years ago that senior Lindsay Leidy was the girls' golf team. Now she is joined by Brianna Bailey, Madison Boudre, Kristen Pagage, Grace Teeley, and Alex Bridges. This season, through much hard work and dedication, these young ladies were able to capture the Indiana Crosswords Conference Championship. They also placed 6th in the Marion County meet and had a strong showing in a tough sectional. Congrats to the girls' golf team and senior Lindsay Leidy.
Next up, we have Brianna Bailey, recognized by Mr. Clampett. Come on back. Brianna is hardworking, creative, and extremely intelligent. She consistently gives her best efforts on all of her assignments and assessments, which is reflected in her grades. She is witty, humorous, and adds intelligence to any conversation or discussion. She is a true learner and leader. Congratulations, Brianna. Grace Teeley is recognized by Mr. Zartman. Aristotle, one of the fathers of Western philosophy, posited that the essence of life is to serve others and do good. Some 2,000 years later, Mother Teresa, along those same lines, stated that not all of us can do great things, but we can all do small things with great love. Grace is a paragon of this philosophy. In my meetings with her, she has continually impressed me with her ideas. Thank you, and keep up the great work, Grace. Emily Andrews, recognized by Mr. Dunphy. This year, I'm fortunate enough to have Emily as a first-time student in my AP Computer Science Principles and Computer Science 1 classes. First, I thought it was crazy to take two very different computer science classes at the same time. I quickly learned how extremely analytical she is and gained an appreciation for her keen eye for detail. More importantly, I appreciate her willingness to take risks and her determination to succeed. It has been exciting to see her attitude spark a determination in others who are now following her example. Emily Andrews. Lindsay Camden, recognized by Ms. Malloy. Lindsay is a bit of sunshine after a long day of teaching. Even though it's 7th period, she comes into AP Literature class each day smiling and ready to tackle the day's lesson. She is hardworking and not afraid to ask questions. She takes risks in her thinking and offers new insights about the literature we're reading. She is kind and generous with her fellow classmates. Lindsay is the kind of student that reminds teachers why they wanted to be a teacher in the first place. Lindsay Camden. Roy Hart, recognized by Mr. Roseborough. I have Roy in my transportation and AC classes. Roy is always a big help in the classroom, especially during projects. He helps me maintain the cleanliness and organization of my classroom on a daily basis. He's kind to others. We recently added a new student to our class, and he has welcomed her to his group immediately and without hesitation. I expect that this sort of behavior and performance will continue through the school year from Roy, and I'm excited to see him continue to grow. Roy Hart. Yosmar Flores Vasquez, recognized by Ms. Denny. Positive, considerate, and hardworking are just a few words that describe Yosmar. However, what I appreciate the most about Yosmar is his willingness to assist and encourage his fellow classmates to do their best. He is a servant leader who enjoys learning, participating, and improving his understanding of the Spanish language and culture. He often challenges himself by looking up new words in the dictionary to further his vocabulary. Yosmar, it is a pleasure to have you as a student of Spanish 2 this year, and I look forward to your academic success. Keep up the enthusiasm and hard work. Oswaldo Martinez Ramos, recognized by Mrs. McKay. Oswaldo was new to Speedway High School and the United States last year. He has worked very hard to close the language gap, for which I'm so happy, because he has so many interesting ideas to add to classroom discussions. Even though he was only here for a short time last year, he made the decision to tackle a challenging schedule this year. He's doing great, and I admire his admiration and grit to be successful. Keep up the good work. Oswaldo. Joshua Walcott, recognized by Mrs. Hauk. Josh transferred to Speedway last autumn, and it quickly became evident that he had both a depth and breadth of understanding of scientific knowledge. Josh chose to enroll in AP Chemistry this year and is the top of his class for both his ethic, attitude, and performance. Josh always contributes to class discussions and tackles his lab work with enthusiasm. He dissects problems on tests and quizzes, never becoming overwhelmed until he finds a satisfactory solution. It is exciting to watch him process and learn, and he has a successful future ahead of him that I am lucky to be part of. Joshua Walcott.
Next, we have Jocelyn Santos by Mr. Kurtz. Last year in environmental science, I knew that Jocelyn was a student who was serious about her learning and success. I encouraged her to push herself in APES this year and was very pleased to see her name on the roster. I am thrilled with her work ethic and conscientious efforts in the class. Jocelyn's quality of work is among the best in the course, and she refuses to produce anything that is less than her best. Her positive attitude and polite nature make her a pleasure to have in the course as well. I look forward to seeing her progress in the course and throughout the coming year in all of her academic pursuits. Jocelyn Santos. Next, we have Sam Magnabosco, recognized by Mr. Beard. Last year, I was stopped at lunch several times by a student who wanted to ask me questions about economics. Happy to answer any question about the subject, I engaged in several conversations about how business operated and the expenses involved. The funny thing is, this student wasn't even in my economics class. Indeed, Sam was a year removed from having me as a teacher and yet could not wait to get involved in the class material. Needless to say, I have been nothing but impressed by this young man and his efforts this year as he finally enrolled in my AP economics course. He has mastered each day's material since day one and is keeping with the tradition of his lunchtime curiosities, has asked several well-thought-out questions already this year, and have challenged myself and the class. Sam attacks each day with enthusiasm that matches my own, no small feat, I may add, and has been a tremendous leader and a person thus far in his class. Sam, needless to say, your much appreciated, or your much anticipated arrival in my class has lived up to the hype. Thanks for being such a great student and for making my period AP Econ a wonderful class to teach. Sam Magnabosco. Next, we have Kennedy Patterson, recognized by Mr. Claiborne. In just 8 weeks of school, Kennedy has already demonstrated an exceptionally high level of kindness, consideration, intelligence, and leadership on a consistent basis and with unique displays when her friends and our school needed it the most. She is truly a leader in the freshman class and a very dependable friend. On one occasion, when a friend accidentally threw away her phone along with her lunch leftovers, Kennedy helped her friend look through and find the phone among the refuse. When asked why she would be willing to sort through the disgusting mess, she said that if the situation were reversed, she hoped someone would do the same for her. Kennedy is also an asset to her classes and on track to make the honor roll. I look forward to seeing the great things Kennedy and her crew will do over the next 4 years at Speedway and encourage her to become involved in as many activities as possible. Kennedy Patterson. Deshaun Miles, recognized by Mr. Borum. Deshaun Miles epitomizes the spirit of the Student of the Quarter award. This young man has grown in a multitude of ways and has worked extremely hard to improve from his freshman year to the first quarter of his sophomore year. As a freshman, Deshaun had adjusted to the rigors of high school. As a sophomore, I am proud to share that Deshaun will be recognized this quarter with the distinction of Superior Honor Roll. The Superior Honor Roll requires a 3.5 GPA and earning a grade of B or better in all coursework. Note, Deshaun earned 5 A's and 2 B's for quarter one. Deshaun, this displays of drastic improvement demonstrates the potential that you have always had. Continue to put your best foot forward in all that you do, and the words of Albert Einstein, learn from yesterday, live for today, and prepare for tomorrow. Deshaun Miles. I don't know, but good thing I took direction. Next we have Lucy Wilson, recognized by Mr. Todd. Lucy prepares for every class and gives valuable information during class discussions. She has consistently earned AP scores of 5 on every exam in class. Lucy also shared with the class an official federal government letter describing the legislative process of how her uncle became a United States ambassador. Lucy's intellect is an example to all others around her. Lucy Wilson. Wait, Lucy, wait, you got another one. She is also recognized by Mr. Nikolic. Lucy Wilson is in my 7th period IED Project Lead the Way Foundations course. Ms. Wilson has demonstrated superior academic performance on all individual and team projects. She works well with her teammates, is always paying attention to the task at hand, and is focused on her learning. Lucy is very attentive, friendly, and turns in her work of time. Her analytical problem-solving, spatial analysis, and communication skills are excellent. I'm looking forward to seeing additional excellent effort and results from my student of the first quarter, Miss Lucy Wilson.
Next, I have Boleji Akindioshe, recognized by Mr. Hurston. BJ has a natural gift for biology, and it can be seen in her consistently high grade all of first quarter. She contributes with intelligent comments during the class and goes the extra mile. I look forward to having her as a student in AP Biology, and I hope that she continues to recognize the talent that she has in science and pursues it as a career down the road. I am confident by her work ethic and determination that she will be one of our top achievers in the class of 2023. Thank you, Balaji. Next, I have Miguel Lopez being recognized by Mrs. Wilkerson. Miguel was very nervous to start a new class at the high school. He has overcome that nervousness to thrive in the room of 155. He is the first student to volunteer when I ask for help. He works hard all the way through each lesson and can be counted on to help his peers if they get stuck. I am so glad Miguel has joined our room at Speedway High School. Thank you, Miguel. Angela Aluo Oyebadejo being recognized by Mr. Passwater. Angela has been an outstanding member of my AP Calculus class. Each day she walks into class with a great attitude and enthusiasm to learn. She genuinely is excited to learn new things and challenge herself. This year, she has been an exemplary student and a classmate while excelling in the course. It has been an honor and a privilege to have Angela in calculus this year. Andrea Rodriguez being recognized by Mrs. Franklin Toon. Andrea's cheerful and positive attitude are contagious. She comes to class every day with a smile and the passion to learn. I know that I can always count on her to lead the Spanish literature group and to complete the task at hand. Outside of the classroom, she has helped with numerous jobs. She has helped with the inventory and deposit of the snack shack and has been very active with the presentations of Hispanic Heritage Month. I am very proud of this young lady, and I look forward to working with her the rest of the year. Tara McCurdy being recognized by Ms. Keevy. I have the pleasure of having Tara in my anatomy and physiology class. She is a hard worker, and her hard effort is reflected through her grade. On her test, she writes in the margins and pays close attention to the details and makes the most thorough with her answers. I don't think Tara likes to answer out in class, but if no one answers, I know that she will be the one to raise her hand with the correct answer every time. I appreciate the pride she takes in her work, and I look forward to seeing what she does throughout the school year. Thank you, Tara. Thank you. Oyinda Lapo Bayode, also known as Ruth. Ruth arrives each day with the readiness to learn and excitement about each assignment in class. She goes above and beyond in her classwork, and she is already a step ahead on the current assignments in English class. Not only is she a good student, she is also a courteous and lovely person. She is willing to help others and always has a kind word to share with myself and her fellow classmates. A teacher could only wish of a classroom full of Ruths. Yeah. Sophian Bubakar being recognized by Mrs. Davenport. Sophian is intelligent, dedicated, and a charming young man. I appreciate how he is working hard for his academic success. He has started his sophomore year with a great strength and determination. As he told me when we met earlier this year to discuss the improvements in his grade, it's a new year, a new me. I'm excited to see what the new Sophian accomplishes this year. Keep up the great work. Brianna Black being recognized by Mrs. Weatherhead and Mr. Murley. Miss Weatherhead says, Brianna is one of the hardest working students I know. She comes to school early, concentrates on her work, and refuses to quit until she accomplishes every goal to her satisfaction. Additionally, Brianna is an active member in art club and has a strong curious eye. Meanwhile, she continues to come to school with a contagious smile on her face and every day. For Brianna, you are greatly appreciated. By Miss Weatherhead. Mr. Murley says, Brianna is a hard worker, dedicated student. She comes to school ready to learn and give her best effort. No matter the challenges she may face, she always attacks it with perseverance and hard work. Brianna truly exemplifies what it means to be a spark plug. Thank you, Brianna. Next, I have Maggie Andrews being recognized by Mrs. Tepp. Is there anything I can do for you? The question that is always almost daily asked by Maggie in the first period after she finishes her math assignment. She is one of the best and conscientious algebra students and quickly understands everything we do and always wanting to know more. She is willing to help other students, explaining things or catching them up from being absent. Need paper sorted or filed? Maggie's on top of it and will always do that with a smile. I believe every teacher needs a Maggie in the first class to start off their day on a happy note. Thank you, Maggie.
Can we bring Grace Teely up and I'll just read my comments?
If I could have Grace Teely.
I'm going to embarrass Grace here for a second. For some reason, my full comments got cut off, so I'm going to make her come up and stand as I read the full congratulatories. Thank you, Grace. It's very rare somebody gets to come up 3 times in one morning. Aristotle, one of the fathers of Western philosophy, posited that the essence of life is to serve others and do good. Some 2,300 years later, Mother Teresa, along those same lines, stated, "Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love." Grace Teely is a paragon of this philosophy. It is because of her constant smile and positivity and her passion for spreading that joy to others that I recognize Grace as my student of the quarter. Since she started walking the halls of SHS as a freshman, she has been committed to making the high school a better place for those around her. In my meetings with her, she has continually impressed me with her ideas. From her first project, helping spearhead the addition of inspirational quotes throughout our facilities, to our latest idea to utilize our iconic spark plug to build a sense of school pride within our departments, sports teams, and clubs. She has maintained a commitment to leave Speedway High School a better place than she has found it. It is these attributes, along with her desire to positively impact and inspire others, that make her the epitome of a Speedway spark plug. Thank you, and keep up the great work, Grace.
Thank you. This concludes the end of our ceremony for Student of the Quarter for the first 9 weeks. Thank you all once again for coming out, and please enjoy the refreshments. Thank you.